What up, ninjas? Beastmaster here. Today's vlog is a little lengthy, maybe, so I'm going to cut right to the chase. One of the most common gripes that I've been hearing from ninjas for the past decade is that, the newbies don't get it, or the younger juggalos don't understand the meaning behind the songs or the Dark Carnival. And my original question for this vlog was, how old do you need to be to read between the lines and understand the messages that ICP puts out there in their music? I honestly don't know. When I discovered ICP, I was 17. I was already a young man. I had been through some shit. So then I got to thinking, what other music exists out there that have meanings behind the song's lyrics that potentially could go over the heads of certain listeners? I started making a list from scratch, and then I started looking up a couple of songs online that I wasn't so sure about. Before I get into this list, I'm going to give you a heads up that I am looking for video responses here. So is there a certain age level that will understand that songs like the Red Hot Chili Peppers' Under the Bridge and Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb are about heroin? Maybe age has nothing to do with it. For example, Ozzy Osbourne's Suicide Solution from the Blizzard of Oz. That song is about alcoholism and killing yourself by drinking. That song got completely blown out of proportion because of the way that he said shoot, 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 shoot. And certain people thought that he was saying shoot, 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 put your guns up, when he was actually just saying shoot, 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 put the flags up. So, I'm sure that a lot of kids got it, and maybe just fans of Ozzy Osbourne got it, but a whole fucking pantload of people didn't get it. U2, Sunday Bloody Sunday. That song is about January 30th, 1972, and the death of 13 peaceful Irish protesters by British paratroopers. Neil Young, Ohio, about the Kent State Massacre in 1970. Alice in Chains, Rooster. Now, unless you have a family member or a friend who is a Marine Corps vet in Nam, you might not know that Rooster is a nickname for the M60 gunner from a platoon, and they were known to be very cocky and to kind of have a strut to their step because they had to unload heavy fire and take heavy fire. Guns N' Roses, old school Guns N' Roses. I used to love her, but I had to kill her. That song isn't about a man killing a woman. That song is about a man putting his dog down. If you don't know, you don't know. And, some people just don't know. Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire. June Carter wrote that song about Johnny while he was still with his first wife. And it's about passions flaring and falling in love. Rage Against the Machine. Now, just one example, Bullet in the Head. That song is about American government using the media to promote war, treat people like a flock of brainwashed sheep, urging people to fight against, insert group here, Queen and Bohemian Rhapsody. Very well-known song. It's kind of brought back into popularity when Wayne's World used it in their movie. I'm going to read a quote from Freddie Mercury. He says that it's one of those songs which has such a fantasy feel about it. I think people should just listen to it, think about it, and then make up their own minds as to what it says to them. Bohemian Rhapsody didn't just come out of thin air. I did a bit of research, although it was tongue-in-cheek and mock opera. Why not? One of my favorite metal bands of all time is Iron Maiden. I could probably talk about Iron Maiden for days, but the song 2 Minutes to Midnight is actually got a political message in disguise. It's about the doomsday clock and how people are fearing something that hasn't actually happened yet. To kill the unborn in the womb. And then you've got Led Zeppelin. So I'm going to read a quote from somebody online who was trying to define the immigrant song. For God's sake, this is the most literal song they've ever wrote. The midnight sun refers to the northern lands that the Vikings come from, where the sun never sets in the summer, and the hammer of the gods is what they believe is driving them. Thor or Odin or whatever. It's Thor. The western shore probably means Britain, as that is the west of Scandinavia. They fought wars in the green fields of Britain, declared themselves the overlords, and in the end, the Britons and the Vikings began to trade together. There's also speculation that that song is a metaphor for Led Zeppelin crossing the shores and invading America with their music. That's sort of like the Vikings crossing the Atlantic and taking over another civilization. You know, and there's also a ton of other Led Zeppelin songs like Misty Mountain Hop, The Battle for Evermore, Bron-Y-Aur Stomp, Ramble On, and Stairway to Heaven, which all have references to Lord of the Rings. You know, just because all these songs have references to Lord of the Rings doesn't mean that each song is actually about Lord of the Rings. A lot of the times the essence of a song is different for everybody, you know, and that's why music withstands the test of time and some songs become classic. And sometimes words have two meanings. So, with all that being said, I hope I've given you a good example of what I'm talking about when I say lyrical analysis. What I'm going to do is put a list of ICP songs in the description of this video. I want you guys to pick any songs you want. You can do one, you can pick a whole bunch of them. I want you to make a response video and tell us what you think that song means. I'm gonna lace it all together and post one video. So if you're watching this, I hope you participate. This little interactive experiment will take as long as it needs to take. I know not everybody has the means to make a video. I also know that there's a lot of ninjas who vlog, and I don't know if we're on your radar yet. So if this is something that you don't want to talk about, it doesn't interest you, then, well, me and my friends talk about this shit all the time. So I hope you join us in the conversation. I'm Beastmaster. Peace, they roll.
The ghettos of America are breeding grounds for the criminal minded. As for years they've killed one another off, and America has enjoyed its creation. Well, now these ghetto-minded criminals have crossed the line into your neighborhood and will soon give you a taste of the hell that they have lived for so long. So, Pops, this time it's your son who gets shot. Deal with your own creation.